Sometimes there's a movie that you see at the movie theater that just blows you away with its visual style, its amazing performances, and just gives you everything that you didn't know you needed in a movie, and that is Top Gun Maverick, as this is easily one of the best films of the year, and I can't wait to dive into this one. So let's get to it. Top Gun Maverick is an action drama film that is a sequel to the 1986 Top Gun movie that was a massive success, being one of the most popular films of all time. The film is directed by Joseph Kosinski, and it stars Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, Jon Hamm, and Glenn Powell. Top Gun Maverick is a movie that I was really interested in seeing just because of that first trailer that came out back in 2019 that just felt like it was a movie that I need to see in cinemas, but I had never seen the original Top Gun movie, so my excitement for this movie wasn't as high as some of the other releases of that year. When I went on my way to go watch the original Top Gun movie a couple weeks ago, I really enjoyed the movie, but I didn't understand the insane amount of hype that this movie got because everyone thinks it's one of the best movies of all time, and I just think it's pretty good. So when all the buzz and craze was going on for Top Gun Maverick as it was premiered at different film festivals, my excitement was definitely high for this movie. And so I got an early access screening for this film in an IMAX, big, massive screening. And let me tell you, this movie was simply fantastic. The best thing that I can say about this movie is the fact that this is a top tier sequel, as this blows the original movie out of the water. As much as I do enjoy that original movie, this movie pushed it to its limits, and it just felt like Tom Cruise and this team of awesome, hardworking individuals wanted to make a movie that felt like it needed to be made. Joseph Kosinski does a fantastic job directing this film, as all the action literally looks perfect, as there's no CGI, there's no green screen. It is so impressive that I literally could not tell what was even fake, even if there was something that was fake about the movie, because the editing is phenomenal, the way it looks is amazing. Tom Cruise is one of my favorite actors of all time, as he stars in one of my favorite franchises of all time, Mission Impossible, and he just outdoes himself here, as this movie is particularly about his character, and he is able to be so vulnerable in the role and be such an emotional character here, instead of that, egotistical, go-lucky, charming dude that we love of Tom Cruise in his movies. And his character still has that, but it is very different and is more down to earth like his character. And I think he was just so good in this movie, as he was also a producer on the film, and you can tell that he loves this film and he's going to do whatever it takes to give it the best he can. I also found that Miles Teller and Jennifer Connelly, who star in this film, did a great job as well, especially Miles Teller, who we all know is a fantastic actor like in Whiplash, and he just proves it again. Jon Hamm and Glenn Powell did a pretty good job here, as well as Val Kilmer in the small role that he has, which was the best scene of the whole film by far, and I'm so glad that Val Kilmer was able to be in this movie. All the dialogue scenes are so emotionally driven, especially the one with Maverick and Iceman that happens later in the movie. That is literally the best scene of the whole film, and it definitely made me cry big tears, and I'm not even emotionally connected to that first film. Everything was done in such a precious, very careful way that didn't feel like it had to rely on references just to get the audience back. This movie focused on having great references in support of the story and having something different. The score is used in a very limited way, especially during the more emotional and dramatic sequences, which is awesome because it doesn't overtake the movie. It lets the actors work and be able to get these genuine emotional responses from the audience. I also thought the technical aspects of this movie, like cinematography, editing, lighting, and sound design, are just top tier. This is what you expect from a top tier blockbuster type of movie that has over $150 million for a budget. The sound design is literally top tier perfect. It should be nominated at the Academy Awards just because it just all sounds beautiful. It goes crazy on those speakers, especially during the action sequences. The lighting, the editing are practically seamless. And the only negative I have with this movie has got to be the brand new characters that we meet. But I do wish we got a little bit more character development from them, especially Miles Teller's character, who I think deserved a lot more character development. And I think it would have made the bond between him and Maverick have a more interesting, more compelling story, even though that their relationship in the movie is the backbone of the film. I do think there's some other characters that are just not as interesting or as notable as the other characters in the original movie. Overall, guys, Top Gun Maverick is one of my favorite movies to hit cinemas this year, as I was just blown away by the visuals and all the action sequences that just kept me so excited, especially with the amount of action sequences in this movie. The emotional and dramatic elements and the awesome story made this movie even better, and it just had so much substance to it. And Tom Cruise proves once again that he is a real and true movie star, and I will watch any movie he is in, even if it's The Mummy 2017. I am giving Top Gun Maverick a 9 out of 10.